You've seen a lot in your life. And let's be real, by now, you've built habits that feel natural, automatic, even comforting. But what if a few of those little things you barely notice are quietly chipping away at your energy, strength, and peace of mind? I'm talking about daily choices that seem harmless, like skipping movement or brushing off fatigue, but have big impacts. No one told you. That's okay. You're here now, and this matters. We all fall into habits. It's normal. You wake up, make the same breakfast, and move through your day like you always have. But here's what most folks never say out loud. Your body, your energy, and even your brain don't work quite the same after 70. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you got to check in and make a few adjustments. Think of it like tuning a car. It still runs, but it needs different care. Most people don't talk about these things. So we keep doing what we've always done and wonder why we feel more tired, more stiff, or just off. This video isn't here to scare you. It's here to help you notice 6 habits that might be wearing you down. And more importantly, we'll walk through how to shift them gently. You don't need a big overhaul, just a willingness to start. A small change can open the door to feeling more like yourself again. Let's face it, most of us don't change something until it really starts bothering us. We hold on to old habits because they feel familiar, comfortable. But here's the catch. What used to work might not work anymore. After 70, your body has new rules. And if we're not careful, the things we don't question could slowly wear us down. This video is about noticing those habits, understanding how they affect us, and learning how to shift them without guilt or overwhelm. Let's be honest. After 70, moving your body can feel harder. Your joints might ache, your back might be stiff, and balance may not be what it used to be. So you start taking it easy. Maybe you sit more, skip the stairs, or avoid picking up anything heavier than a grocery bag. It feels safer, right? But here's the twist. What feels like protection can actually be causing more harm. When we stop using our muscles, they start fading away, slowly at first, then quicker than you'd expect. It's called sarcopenia, and it's more common than people realize. The less you move, the weaker you get. And the weaker you get, the harder even simple things become. Getting out of a chair, carrying a laundry basket, or walking through a parking lot without feeling winded. That's what happened to Gilbert. He's 82. A few years ago, he had a minor fall. Nothing serious, but scared him. After that, he stuck to the couch, took only short walks, and avoided anything that felt like a challenge. But over time, he noticed his legs getting weaker, and everyday tasks became exhausting. His confidence took a hit, too. Eventually, Gilbert saw a physical therapist who introduced him to basic strength movements. Nothing crazy, just standing up from a chair without using his arms, lifting soup cans for a few minutes, and balancing beside the kitchen counter. Within weeks, he felt stronger. And more than that, he felt like himself again. You don't need a gym membership or fancy machines. You just need your own body, a few minutes a day, and a willingness to start. Even small movements, done consistently, can rebuild strength. It's not about becoming an athlete. It's about keeping your freedom, being able to stand up without help or reach into a cabinet without pain. That's what real independence looks like. When you choose movement, you're not just exercising. You're telling your body, I'm still in this. You're protecting your bones, your heart, and your confidence. So if you've been avoiding movement because it feels risky, here's the truth. Doing nothing is the bigger risk. Start with a little. 5 minutes of movement today is better than none. A short walk, a few squats using a chair, or simply reaching your arms overhead while seated. Progress takes time, but every effort adds up. And before long, you'll notice the difference in how you walk, how you breathe, and how you feel when you wake up. Movement is a gift you give your future self. You've come this far. Don't let muscle loss rob you of your next adventures. Choose to move. Choose strength. Choose yourself, one small step at a time. And if you're not sure where to begin, ask your doctor or a physical therapist for simple routines tailored to your level. You deserve to feel strong, steady, and capable every single day. Let's talk about food for a minute. Most of us have been eating the same way for decades. You've got your go-to meals, your favorite snacks, maybe even a Sunday dinner routine that hasn't changed since the kids were young. And hey, that's normal. Food is comforting. It's tradition. But as our body gets older, its needs shift. What worked for you in your 40s may not sit quite right in your 70s. You might notice you feel more sluggish after eating. Maybe your stomach feels heavy, or you get tired in the afternoons and chalk it up to age. But here's the thing, it's not just aging. It might be your eating habits trying to tell you something. Scarlett, who's 75, had a similar story. She wasn't eating junk food, just sticking with her usual portions and favorite meals. But she started feeling bloated, tired, and noticed her clothes didn't fit quite the same. Her doctor didn't suggest a strict diet. He just said, try smaller portions, add in more veggies, cut back on the heavy stuff. Simple enough, right? Scarlett gave it a try. She started having smaller, lighter meals, like soup and salad for dinner or fruit and yogurt in the morning. She swapped out white bread for whole grain and made sure to drink more water throughout the day. In just a few weeks, her energy was back. She said she even felt sharper, more mentally clear. And that's the power of eating with awareness. It's not about giving up your favorites forever. It's about adjusting to what your body actually needs now. Smaller meals, spaced out throughout the day, can be easier to digest. And choosing foods that are rich in fiber, lean protein, and healthy fats helps support your bones, brain, and heart. You don't have to become a nutrition expert. You just need to pay attention to how food makes you feel. Start noticing. Does a heavy lunch leave you sleepy? Do you feel better when you skip the second slice of toast? That's your body talking. Also, hydration matters more than you think. As we age, our sense of thirst isn't as sharp. So drinking enough water, especially with meals, can help with digestion, energy, and even joint comfort. If changing everything feels overwhelming, don't worry. You don't need a total diet makeover overnight. Just start with one meal a day. Try a vegetable you haven't had in a while. Switch from fried to baked. Or add a side of fruit instead of chips. Eating well isn't about losing weight or following trends. It's about giving your body what it needs to help you feel your best. You deserve that every single day. So next time you're fixing a plate, pause for a second. Ask yourself, will this fuel me or drain me? And choose the answer that helps you feel more alive. Let's talk about something a lot of people over 70 do, and maybe you've done it too. You feel a little off. Maybe your vision's blurry, your ankles look a bit swollen, or your energy dips for no clear reason. And what do you tell yourself? It's probably nothing. Or, that's just part of getting older. Sound familiar? Now, sure, not every little symptom means something serious. But here's the truth. Brushing things off too often can become a dangerous habit. Our bodies change as we age, and the warning signs aren't always loud. Sometimes they whisper. And if we ignore those whispers long enough, they might grow into something we can't ignore anymore. Take Walter, for example. He's 78 and always saw himself as tough. He didn't complain, didn't run to the doctor for every little thing. But after a while, he noticed his vision wasn't quite right. He also had this strange tingling in his feet. Still, he shrugged it off, told himself it was just one of those things. But eventually, his daughter noticed something was off and convinced him to get checked. Turns out, he was in the early stages of diabetes. The good news? They caught it early enough that he could manage it with diet and exercise. But if he'd waited, the complications could have been much worse. Loss of vision, nerve damage, the kind of stuff that's hard to reverse. That's why it matters to speak up. You know your body better than anyone else. If something feels unusual, don't push it aside. Write it down. Tell your doctor. Even if it ends up being nothing, that peace of mind is worth it. And if it is something, catching it early gives you options. It gives you power. The truth is, staying quiet doesn't make you stronger. It just makes it easier to miss what's really going on. And I get it. Maybe you don't want to be a burden. Maybe you feel like doctors don't always listen. But you deserve to be heard. Your health matters. Your time matters. So here's a small habit that can make a big difference. Start a health journal. Just a simple notebook where you jot down changes, patterns, or anything that feels off. Bring it with you to your appointments. It's not overthinking. It's being proactive. Our bodies are still talking to us. We just have to slow down and listen. Taking action early, even on something small, can help you avoid big problems down the line. And remember, it's not about being worried all the time. It's about being aware, being tuned in. So if your gut tells you something's not quite right, trust it. You made it this far by listening to your instincts. Don't stop now. Let's talk about memory. Because here's the thing. After 70, your brain's still working, still sharp in many ways, but it doesn't hold on to every detail like it used to. And that's okay. It's normal. But what's not helpful is pretending you can still rely on it 100%. Bill, who's 73, prided himself on remembering everything. He didn't write things down, didn't use reminders. He managed all his appointments, medications, and to-dos right from his head. That worked for a while, until it didn't. One week, he missed a doctor's visit and accidentally took his morning medication twice. That was his wake-up call. It's not about losing intelligence or slipping mentally. It's about recognizing that the brain, just like the body, needs support. And honestly, giving it that support can feel like a relief. Bill started using a small notebook. He wrote down appointments, notes from phone calls, and his medication schedule. He added sticky notes in the kitchen and set alarms on his phone. And you know what he said after a month? I feel lighter. Like I'm not constantly trying to remember everything at once. That's the value of letting tools help you. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. Because forgetting to take a pill or taking it twice can lead to real problems, especially with blood pressure meds, insulin, or other critical treatments. And missing a birthday or a lunch date, that affects relationships too. Here's something to think about. Your brain has stored decades of memories, lessons, and experiences. That's a full library. So why not give it a break when it comes to short-term stuff like, did I take my pill? Or was my appointment at 2 or 3? There are simple ways to do this. A pill organizer, a calendar on the fridge, phone alarms, even voice assistants. You can even speak to voice assistants. Start with one method that feels easy, then build from there. And if you feel embarrassed about needing reminders, don't. Everyone forgets things, young or old. What matters is what you do about it. Being proactive is how you stay independent. It's how you stay safe. When your mind isn't busy trying to keep track of the little things, it frees up space for the stuff that actually matters, your hobbies, your conversations, your joy. So give yourself that space. Use the tools. Make it easy on yourself. You've earned it. And if you're someone who's been winging it, just like Bill, maybe today's the day you give your brain a little backup. Trust me, it'll thank you. You're not alone in this. Lots of smart, capable folks use reminders every single day. The key is making your life easier, not proving something to anyone. Let's talk about something a lot of folks don't like to admit, pulling back from people. Maybe you used to be the one planning get-togethers or calling your friends just to chat. But now, you find yourself skipping invitations, saying, maybe next time, and before you know it, the phone gets quiet and the days feel a little too still. And look, it's understandable. After 70, a lot changes. You might feel tired more easily. Maybe you've lost people close to you, and socializing just doesn't feel the same anymore. Or perhaps you've convinced yourself that staying home is simpler. Less effort, less risk, That's what happened to Sylvia. She's 80, and after her husband passed, she told herself she needed time. So she stayed in, watched TV, said no to outings. She thought she was doing the right thing, giving herself space. But months passed, and that quiet turned into loneliness. She felt foggy, unmotivated, like she was slowly fading from her own life. Then her daughter nudged her to try a gentle yoga class for seniors. Sylvia resisted at first, thinking, "That's not me." But she went, and to her surprise, it wasn't the yoga that helped most. It was the small talk before class. The shared smiles. Someone remembers her name. That tiny bit of connection lit something up inside her again. We're wired to connect, even if we're introverts, even if we value our solitude. Connection doesn't have to mean big parties or weekly events. It could be a 5-minute chat with a neighbor, a phone call, sharing a cup of coffee with someone who listens. Social isolation isn't just an emotional thing. It affects your brain, your heart, even your immune system. Studies show that seniors who stay socially active have better memory, sleep better, and feel more purpose in their day. So if you've been drifting away from people, ask yourself, when was the last time I reached out? When did I last laugh with someone? You don't have to change your whole routine. Just one small step back into the world around you. Call an old friend. Send a text. Say yes the next time someone invites you out, even if it's just for a walk. You matter. Your presence matters. And when you show up, really show up, you're not only helping yourself, you're giving someone else the gift of your company too. Remember, staying connected doesn't mean being busy all the time. It means not forgetting that you still belong and people still want to hear from you. You've built a life full of memories and relationships. Don't let the silence settle in too deep. Reaching out, even just a little, might be the very thing that brings your spark back. Let's be real for a second. Technology can feel intimidating, especially if you didn't grow up with it. Maybe you've said something like, "I'm too old for that," or "I've gotten by just fine without it." And that might be true. But here's what most folks don't realize. Technology isn't about keeping up with trends. It's about staying connected, staying informed, and in many ways, staying independent. Take Louise, for example. She's 79 and used to call her daughter every time she needed to check an appointment or refill a prescription. Her daughter never minded, but Louise began to feel like a burden. So, one day, her grandson sat down with her and showed her how to use the calendar app on her phone. He showed her how to set reminders and check her pharmacy's website. It wasn't all smooth sailing. She made mistakes, asked the same questions more than once. But little by little, it started to make sense. Now, Louise handles most of her scheduling on her own. She gets reminders on her phone and has even started watching YouTube videos about gardening. And the best part? She feels proud. She feels capable again. That's what technology can do. It's not about being perfect at it. It's about learning just enough to make your life easier. And honestly, the tools are more user-friendly than ever. From voice assistants that can tell you the weather or set alarms, to simple apps that track your medications, the possibilities are there. You just have to be open to trying. And let's not forget the emotional side of tech. Being able to video call your grandchildren, send a quick message to a friend, or even join an online class can help you feel more connected to the world, especially on days when you can't get out of the house. It's okay to ask for help. Nobody expects you to know everything. And yes, you might hit the wrong button a few times. You might need to write down the steps. But with a little patience and maybe a little humor, you'll get there. The goal isn't to become tech-savvy overnight. The goal is to stay in touch, stay sharp, and stay confident. Even using technology in small ways can remind you that you're not being left behind. You're adapting, you're growing, and that counts for a lot. So if you've been avoiding technology altogether, maybe today's the day you take a small step. Ask someone to show you how to send a text. Try setting a reminder on your phone. Watch a video on something you love. Give it a chance. You might be surprised by how empowering it feels. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about gadgets. It's about freedom. And you deserve to feel capable in every way possible, including in the digital world. You've made it through a lot in life. You've raised families, worked hard, faced challenges, and come out the other side stronger. That kind of wisdom and experience, it's priceless. But even with all that, it's easy to overlook the small habits that slowly wear you down. These 6 routines we've talked about, they may seem harmless, even comforting, but over time, they chip away at your strength, your confidence, and your joy. The good news is you're not stuck. You can make changes, and they don't have to be big or overwhelming. Just choosing to move a little more each day, eating foods that fuel you, speaking up when your body feels off, using reminders to stay sharp, reaching out instead of pulling back, and yes, even giving technology a fair shot. Every one of those steps is a way of saying, I still matter. My health still matters. You're not fading. You're evolving. You're not done learning, growing, or choosing what comes next. This chapter can be full of clarity, connection, and strength if you're willing to rewrite it on your terms. Change doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means becoming more of who you really are, awake, present, and proud of how far you've come. And trust me, the best parts of your story might still be ahead. Here's the thing. Growing older is not about giving up. It's about showing up differently. It is about listening to your body, respecting your limits, and finding new ways to stay strong. Every small step you take today is a gift to your future self. Choosing to move, to eat smarter, to speak up when something feels off, or to reach out when you feel alone, all of that matters more than you know. It is not about chasing perfection or turning back the clock. It is about honoring the life you have lived and making the most of the life you still have ahead. You are still capable of growth, joy, and deep connection. Every day you choose to care for yourself, you are writing a stronger, more vibrant chapter. You're not just surviving. You are still living, still making memories that matter. If any part of today's video spoke to you, I would love to hear about it. Share in the comments which habit hit home for you or what small change you are planning to make. Your story might inspire someone else who needs a little encouragement. And if you found value here, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss any of our future conversations. We are all learning and growing together.